don't go. Wait. No. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is a nice, beautiful day. It is cold out here, though. It's 49 degrees. It's at least a little bit warmer than it was the other day. It is cold enough now that my tires have a low pressure signal coming up. So I'm going to take the car here to Einstein Brothers Bagels. It's Monday. It's half off bagel day. So we're going to see if the car can take me all the way there. There's an interesting entrance. If it doesn't route me there, then we're going to force it to go there. So I'm going to go ahead and just drive manually to start because there's a car coming up behind me. And as I'm driving, I'm going to go ahead and tell the car to take me there. Navigate to Einstein Brother Bagels on Meacham Road. And there we go. It actually did not automatically populate it. So I'm going to hit the button there. And we're going to see what route it takes me. Okay, very good. So it's taking me straight on Gulf Road. This is the very cool, interesting entrance. So I had this happen once before and I was very impressed. It pulled it off beautifully. So right here at the traffic light, we're going to go ahead and turn it on. And here we go. It's creeping forward just ever so slightly. It should have gone a little bit further forward because we can go right on red. I'm letting it stay here on purpose, but probably should push it forward. Since we can go right, I'm gonna intervene and just nudge it forward a little bit. Okay, so autopilot creeping forward, checking for visibility. I'm not sure why it didn't do that all on its own. So it is clear to go if it wanted to go, but it would have to kind of make a hustle. Ooh, yeah, okay, so it did decide to go, but way too late there. And it was gonna hit into the curb, so I did push it forward, so I did have to disengage there. But that was a little bit too late. The car is coming up way faster than the speed limit. Speed limit's 35. This person behind me was probably going 47 miles an hour. And the car pulled right out in front of them. Not a good move. I had to take over there. What was interesting there is that the car actually tried to go right into the curb. So I'm telling it to go left to get away from this truck. I absolutely cannot stand driving behind trucks. It drives me crazy. All the debris that kicks up from those, no thank you. I never got PPF on my car. A lot of people have asked that, how is your car held up without PPF? And that, for anyone who doesn't know, PPF is paint protection film. It's very popular to put on the Tesla vehicles just because everybody loves their cars. But I never did it. It's, to me, not worth it because it costs a lot of money, first of all. Second of all, it's a car. It's going to get beat up over time. Now, if you're a perfectionist like I am, and when I first got the car, I really wanted to protect it and keep it as pristine as I possibly could, you are still going to be waxing it and cleaning it. You could do a ceramic coat. I did a do-it-yourself ceramic coat at one point. But that doesn't really protect against scratches or dents or anything like that. But as long as you keep your distance, here's my thought on this. As long as you keep your distance and you stay away from tailgating other people, namely semi-trucks, large vehicles, then you should be okay. I haven't really had any major issues. The front bumper, at least on my 2019 long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3, has like a black plastic piece underneath the black paint. So there was one spot that ended up chipping off, but that was from a pressure sprayer, believe it or not, and not from a rock or anything. It's possible that a rock had started the chip, but my pressure sprayer knocked a bunch of it off. So definitely, if you're worried about chips and dents and whatever on your car, get the touch-up paint. I did that right away and have applied little spots here and there. And mainly that's to protect it from getting rust on the metal portions. And it doesn't look that pretty because what happens when you apply the touch-up paint is it will have a little bubble on it. Now you can kind of even that out, but even after you even it out, you can tell that it was repainted in that particular area. So there's ways to make it look to blend in with the clear coat. But I think you have to go to a professional to have that done. And my thought on all of this is I'm going to do it myself up until a point where I have maybe 2-3 dozen little spots. And by then, and that's what I have today, by the way, by then it's been 2, 3, 4 years that you've owned the car. So now you can take it to a touch-up paint place, a detailer, and they can make it look brand new again. And the other thing is too, is that you can have your car repainted. So that's not out of the question. I think if you did 2 PPF treatments, it would be equivalent to having your car repainted as far as the cost goes. So not a big deal for me, and I live in the Midwest. It's bad weather. The winter scares the crap out of me. I try to baby this as much as I can, but this is my daily driver. This is my car that I drive every single day. So I'm not afraid to take it out in bad conditions. I do clean this car way more than I've cleaned any other car before in my entire life, and that's just because I love this car. It's the first and only car that I've had that I really, really take pride in. And it's not only very futuristic and fun to drive, it's very comfortable. The seat is so cozy. So when I get done with a long road trip, what's really funny is that I will often want to stay in the car and not get out. My parents think I'm really weird. So I'll make a 2.5 hour trip over to Michigan, and I'll want to stay in the car. I want to throw up Netflix, or I want to play a game, or I want to just keep listening to whatever song I'm listening to. The car is just, the seats especially are so comfortable. And Sandy Munro did a special with Elon Musk where they were in an office environment, sitting at a table, and Sandy mentioned something about the seats. And Elon confirmed that these seats were specially engineered, especially designed specifically for Tesla vehicles.
The seats in your car are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough about them. I drive a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
And if I had to sit in that seat for an hour, I'd have to get a chiropractor
Sure.
and probably surgery. These seats, we were sitting in them for hours and hours and hours and hours, and there's no fatigue. They're brilliant, and you make them yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what we're really trying to do there with the seat is, and we put a lot of effort into this, is minimize any peaks and any pressure peaks. So it like evens out the pressure. Like if your butt hurts, it's basically going to be because there's some part of the seat that is producing a pressure peak. And that's going to just cut off your circulation and make your butt hurt. But there've been quite a few iterations. In fact, I mean, the early Model S's had, I think, probably the worst seat of any car I've ever sat in. I mean, I called it the stone toadstool. It's like if you wanted to sit on a stone toadstool, that was the early Model S seats. Now, if you sat on it for, I guess it's better than a stone toadstool, because if you sat on it long enough, eventually your butt would win eventually. Because your butt can repair itself and the seat cannot. So eventually it would be like acceptably comfortable, but it would be a very difficult wear-in process. And so it's like we try to go from stone toadstool to something that is just I don't know, lap of luxury. It just feels great, you know. That you can sit in for a long time, and it's still comfortable. That was a long journey and a lot of effort.
Yeah, well, it paid off. Like I said, we do a lot of work on different things, and I would say without a question of a doubt, the seats. I never read. We had no room in the back seats, but. We had it filled up with junk, but I would suggest that seat is, in my estimation, for my body and one, it is the best seat on the planet. There's nothing better than that. And a lot of the OEMs, they don't want to make seats because they say that's something that should be outsourced. And I believe that anything you touch, anything that you're going to interface with has to be made in-house, because that's your profound knowledge. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you iterate on it and keep making it better. And this particular seat, it has improved quite a lot from the early production Model 3 or early production Model 3 to present day. It's improved a fair bit. And like one of the breakthroughs was like actually Franz von Holzhausen had a seat that the studio had done. And I sat in that seat and I was like, wow, this seat's great. We're like, okay, let's figure out how do we get a production seat to feel like a bespoke, handmade, hand-tailored seat without costing a ton of money. So you just can't. It's very difficult to do that if you're working with a supplier, So
well, near impossible, because they got to get it cranked out and moving and quickly. And then what they want to do is they want to take the underpinnings, those weldments or castings, if they haven't gone that far. They want to use those over and over and over again for everybody. And so consequently, everybody may look different on the outside, but inside, probably not so much.
Here we go. We're getting in the left lane. It really needs to get in the far, far left lane. We're going to see here if it changes. Okay, so it's going to give itself a challenge. So after this light, it's going to have to get over even further. So it's turning its left blinker on out of courtesy to let anyone know, which there's nobody behind us. But if there was someone, it would let them know that, hey, we're going left here. Just like this bus and this Nissan Rogue have their left turn signals on. I just remembered. So the lumbar adjustment in the passenger seat, it was not working. So I had to take it into the service center, and they had to put a new little pouch in there. So the lumbar adjustment, it's basically a pneumatic valve that pumps some air into a cushion. And it's all done electronically, but you push the button and you can release the air. So that was not working when I got the car, and I'm so glad I figured it out while it was still within warranty. That's one thing the service center is really good about, is honoring your warranty. I had my AC replaced. I had that smell issue that happened, just like so many other people have had. I also had a little clip missing on one of the back panels on one of the seats in the rear passenger area. So right back there in the back right, the panel was loose. I've also noticed that not every car has this, but with my model, the trim around the trunk. Okay, here we go. Doing very well there. Okay, that was nicely done. The trim around the lift gate, or the trunk, the hood, whatever you want to call it, that will leak water. So what happens is when it's raining, the rain will, oh my goodness. Okay, so there's some construction up here. This is going to be interesting. So it needs to get in the left lane. Okay, changing lanes to follow route. Ooh, now it's going to have to get over here before the construction. Very well done there. Okay, yes. Here we go, creeping forward. Now if it goes, that's going to be really bold. I would have gone probably, but I'm glad it didn't. Oh, don't go yet. No. Okay, wait here. Wait, no. Don't go. Wait. No. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was not good. It was about to just turn right into that traffic. Oh gosh. That woman looked at me, gave me a kind of a weird look. Why would it have done that? I don't know. That blows my mind. I mean, sometimes it's just super impressive, and other times, I don't know. And it's turning way too early. So what I mean by that is it should have gone up further and then started to go, because now I have to make an adjustment to get into this parking lot. Oh, I did it so well the first time I tried this. Darn it. That would have been so nice to see. All right, so I'm going to manually push it through here. See how I have to go diagonally here and then straighten? So it really should have gone further forward. Okay, that guy did not have the right of way. Surprised there's not a stop sign there. All right, so I have arrived. I'm going to go pick up my bagels, and then I will be right back. All right, so we have bagels in the back. I'm super excited to have that for my breakfast here today. Great price, half off bagels every Monday. So anyway, I am a very, very frugal Tesla owner, probably the frugalist. I really don't have a ton of money, and it's a problem. I really shouldn't moan about that, but I grew up in a family that didn't have much money, and I've done everything on my own to grow my money as much as I can. I invest as much as I can. I'm really big into investing in finance. So I got into some Bitcoin, and that's the reason why I have this car. So I bought up 3 Bitcoin way back in 2015, I think it was 2016 maybe, and it was $1,000 to get 3 Bitcoin. So it was $380 for 1 Bitcoin at the time. So I got 3 of them, and I said, hey, what the heck, I'll just see where this goes. Bitcoin in 2017 went to $20,000. And so that $1,000 investment grew to $60,000. Blew my mind. And obviously, I was checking my phone every single day. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And I was very early, I would hear about it on a Marketplace Tech. It's a podcast that I follow. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know why that car just made a noise like that. But, and I'm driving manually right now, by the way. So as soon as I come up here, I'm going to turn it back on. Let's go right here. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on here. So this is a very easy drive. I'm not expecting any issues. Today is me talking with you, sharing stories here. So I come from a family that really didn't have much money to begin with. So I've hustled to kind of grow my own net worth all on my own. And saving money is one thing, but investing is another. And I've focused on investing, and I try to diversify. So I'll put money in the stock market. I'll put money in, I don't have any money in real estate right now. That's one area I really want to get involved with. But, cryptocurrency, I own a little bit of gold. I have an HSA. I have a Roth IRA, 401k. You try to kind of mix, or you try to spread your money all across in different areas. So I don't have a financial advisor. I'm passionate about money because I like to have my money growing while I'm sleeping. Thing is, I don't have a book out or something else that's generating money organically other than my investments. So maybe in the future I'll have a product available, who knows. But I do have a website because I'm passionate about finance. It's called Finance Rush. Boy, it's a blog. I haven't really contributed to that in a very long time, but I love investing. It's one of my passions. So anyway, I got lucky with Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin went to $20,000, suddenly I had $60,000. So I took 1 Bitcoin out and was able to afford this car. Now the other 2 Bitcoins, one of them I left in there. The other I spread it across a whole bunch of altcoins. I bought a bunch of Ethereum. I bought a bunch of OMG, which is Omise Go. I purchased Nano back in the day when it was Ryblocks, XRB. I bought XRP, the Ripple, before the SEC came down on them. A whole bunch of cryptocurrencies. There it says apply slight force to the steering wheel. So I've been very bullish with cryptocurrencies, but to a certain extent. So I'm not all in, and that's never been my policy to go all in on one thing or another. I kind of spread it out, as I said. So I could go on and on. This is one of my passions, is investing. But my point is that I'm very, very frugal. So I didn't get PPF. I didn't get the upgraded rims on my car. I've never had a new car before in my entire life. I've always driven, the most I ever paid for a car was $10,000. So this is, for those of you that are striving to purchase a car, so net worth is relative. It's all relative. And, one person could have a lot of money or think they have a lot of money, whereas another person could look at them and like, oh man, you're poor. And then the other way around, someone could have very little money, and then someone could say, oh man, you're really rich. So it's all relative, and you need to strive to do your very best in life and do what makes you comfortable, do what makes you happy. But most importantly, I think as a person, as a human being, you should have specific goals in your life, whether that is to buy a Tesla, like it was for me. I was an early reservation holder for the Model 3, and I really wanted that $35,000 car with the self-driving. I didn't realize the self-driving would be an extra purchase. Had I known that when they announced the car, I don't know that I would have put a reservation in. I thought $35,000, all said and done, you're going to have the full package done. Then I come to find out that, oh, well, you don't get the long-range battery, and you don't get the premium interior. And not that I would need the premium interior, but the battery is the most important part of buying an electric car. Absolutely, hands down, the most important part. Because when you go on road trips, you don't want to be stopping all the time to charge up. And the range that you get in the winter, shave off easily 35-40%. Easily. So you really do not want to skimp on the battery portion. So battery, number one, I knew I had to get a long-range battery. And then secondly, the tech. And that, for me, that was the big thing that I really wanted. But well, when I added all that up, the cost was so high, and it really bothered me. So, it's slowing down here. I had to actually intervene to push it through. Don't know why it did that. The light wasn't even turning yellow. Disappointed with that move. There's a car behind me. So I canceled my reservation, and I was so defeated. And if anyone is watching this that's on the Tesla Model 3 group on Facebook, I was posting stuff. I was a little whiny kid about it, and I regret some of the posts I made. Just kind of, I mean, I was beating myself up publicly, and other people were like, they thought I was crazy, or they thought I was stupid. So it was just really disappointing to me when, you know, that $35,000 car was now $47,000, $48,000, and I'm like, man, I can't afford that. So I waited for that $35,000 car to come out, and by the time it did, it was just, the specs were so bad that I couldn't buy it. I didn't want to buy it. So what happened was, I evaluated my financial situation. I had a spreadsheet. I had everything out on the table. I was trying to figure out how am I going to make this happen, and I did. And I was very pleased that I finally was able to sort it out. So anyway, long story short, if you are trying to figure out how you can afford a Tesla, if you're not already investing, get started. The earlier you start, the better. It really pays off. Little bits here, little bit here, little bit there. You don't need to go all out. Just start. And I can't emphasize that enough. Starting is the first step. I'll never forget when I first opened up a Roth IRA. I put my money into it. And I sat there, and several months later, I go back to check in. I'm looking at the money, and it's like, man, it's not going up. What's going on? I didn't know that after you fund your account, you need to then allocate it to certain assets. You need to then buy the stocks with that money. So when you open up an account and put money into it, it sits in a market account, or a what do they call it? Like a cash area. They have different names for it. Anyway, long story short, you can make it happen. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to my sob story here, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.